I'm breaking down a full sales call from one of the agency owners inside my inner circle. Now, last month, my agency did about 30K and sales was a huge part. So I want to show you exactly how I think during a sales call. I'm going to walk through this entire call step by step from the discovery, the pitch, the objections, and I'm going to break down what worked and what you actually need to do in order to close clients for your agency. So by the end of this video, you're going to be able to increase your close rate just by watching it. So let's dive in. Okay, so let's crack on with this call review. We're going to start out with the discovery, which this is the most important part of the call. So I'm going to have a huge emphasis on the discovery. And this is basically going to dictate any objections you get, but also how strong we can make the pitch. Because the goal of discovery is to get ammunition from the prospect so that when they tell us something, we know exactly what they're in, what situation they're in, but also what they're looking for. So when we pitch them, we can go tell them exactly what they want to hear, what they need to hear, based on what they've tried before, what they haven't had results with. So the goal of discovery is getting as much ammunition as possible from the prospect. So let's dig into it.
What are you?
Good, man.
Perfect. How's the day been?
It's been good, man. How's yours?
So first of all, this is the rapport building stage. We're building some rapport.
All right. What you been up to?
Just working, dude.
Gotcha. Kind of same here. So good to hear.
Yeah, man.
All right. So
right away, what I would do, I always it's just as simple as possible instead of just how's the day going? Like, this is totally fine, right? Like showing you're a real person. I would just be like, especially because this guy is a remodeler, I would be like, dude, that's a nice kitchen in the back. Did you remodel that yourself? And he's probably like, yeah, I did, because he is a remodeler. But just I always like commenting on their background, or like, oh, cool thing in the back. What's that in the back? It's like a plate or something. Right? It's just something super simple like that. But rapport should be no longer than 25, 40 seconds a minute at the absolute max.
Perfect. So just how this call is going to go is just I'm going to go get a bit of context on the Heritage Kitchens and then go over how everything that I do works. And then from there, we'll determine whether or not it's a good fit. Sound good?
Okay. Yeah, it's great.
So it just sounded a little bit scripted. You kind of looking back and forth a little bit, which is the only thing I would change. Personally, when I set the frame, I like to just go, hey, so pretty much just to dig into it, I always like to just get a bit of context on your business. From there, I'll obviously go through like what I do, numbers, all that sort of stuff. Is that cool with you? Basically, the whole point that was we want them to tell us, yes, it's fine if you ask me questions. Yes, I'm totally good with it. Because then what we don't want to happen is them to say, oh, just get to what you do. Show me how it works when you're asking questions. But this was still solid.
Okay. All right, perfect. And so just quick little question. I've heard from a lot of people, and probably even you've been getting hammered with calls like these from agencies. So kind of besides being curious, what actually are you looking to get out of the call? And then why'd you hop on it?
Yeah, I mean,
so right away, we're getting the motivation. Good question right there. We want to find out, hey, what's the reason you're even on the call, right? Besides just being curious. And you did a good job of framing it here where we're saying, hey, besides just being curious, what are you looking to get out of the call?
Exploring avenues right now for what we're going to do in 26 when it comes to like lead generation. This year it's been strictly, I'm really pleased with the folks doing our.
So something I'm writing down is exploring avenues. So that leads me to believe he's looking at other alternatives as well, which we're going to need to dig into.
Google, SEO marketing stuff. But we're not, that's really the only avenue I've been pushing this year. We did some Angie stuff, but I'm not doing that again. So looking at what are some alternatives and what can we do?
Gotcha.
So one thing I would note down is he said the Google has been working really well. I would dig into. So I mean, if the Google is working well, I guess why are you looking for alternatives instead of just doubling down on that? And then we get him to tell us that, or that's something we just note down. But we get him to tell us, oh, it's because there's only so much we can get from it. Okay, so you feel like you're kind of maxed out. But this is stuff I'm just noting down to be able to go into later.
How long have you been working with Google SEO?
Since January.
So now we're in current state, so getting what he's currently doing.
Gotcha. How much business are you getting with that right now?
I would say it started, this year will probably be 20-ish% of our business, 15%, but it's been a lot. Like today we had 2 people walk in because they found us online, which for the first 6 months that never happened. So, I mean, it's working. And I look at like when people Google, kitchen remodel in our area and we're ranking. So I'm pretty pleased with that.
Yeah. So it's like kind of starting to build up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. That took like 6 months to build up then.
Yep.
Yeah. How much are you spending on that right now?
That's like $700 a month.
$700 a month. Okay. Gotcha. So if it's finally just starting to get business, hopefully that investment will pay off soon. But
well, I would just ask him. I wouldn't assume the investment's not paying off because he sounds like he's getting a decent number of business from it. So I would ask him, okay, how many deals have you actually got from that? How many jobs have you got from that? And then once he goes and tells you, yeah, we got 20% of our business, we got X amount of jobs. Okay, what's been the ROI on that? Maybe the ROI is not even that good, to be honest, if he's been doing it for 6 months, right? But we need to ask him that so we know.
Well, it's definitely hefty. And then is that also just doing stuff with Angie's didn't like it?
Yeah, I mean the amount that we've gotten enough to pay for it this year, but it's not. I won't do that again.
Yeah.
Why not? I'd be like, why wouldn't you do it again?
How much business have you got with Angie's, if any at all?
2 jobs.
2 jobs this year.
Mm-hmm, yeah, and they were larger, so it certainly has paid for it. Like the ROI is there. It just hasn't been. Yeah, I don't think I'll do it again. I don't
Yeah,
think.
So I would ask right there, if the ROI is there, I guess what's the reason you'd stop? Like, why not just put more money into it? And then it'll tell you, oh, it's because we're getting a lot of leads, but there's just like too many low quality leads. And okay, noted, low quality leads. And when we go pitch him, then we remember this guy hates low quality leads. He wants quality, as an example. But we need to dig into that.
it's like too much time,
Mhm.
a little too much money per lead.
Yeah.
Do you remember like
So
this?
I wouldn't assume this stuff. I would keep it open ended. Ask him like, what's the reason you don't want to stick with it if it is profitable? I mean, most people when someone's making them money, they just put more money into it.
Specific cost per lead for that, or
That one's also about $700 a month. So, on an annual basis, you're talking $8,000. But if we close $100,000 of business off of it, is that terrible? I mean, it's not great, but it's something, right?
there's definitely better avenues, but I mean, a lot of the things you'll see in ROI, but
Yeah.
Angie can be really
Well,
inconsistent.
dude, I would just ask him. I'm genuinely curious if there's an ROI. If this dude just made $100,000 from Angie, spent $8,000, and Angie is a lead platform for those of you who don't know. If he spent $8,000 and made $100,000, that's a pretty sick ROI. Like, dude, why would you not just go put $100,000 into that and make $1 million back? Right? I would, like literally go and ask him that. Like, pull away. Be genuinely curious. Why not just put more money into this? That doesn't make sense.
Mhm.
And then, so sounds like you're doing SEO, do Angie's time to time, and then I'm guessing the rest of your business is just word of mouth referral.
So we don't know what if there's anything he doesn't like about the SEO. Like, you're doing SEO. I mean, is there anything you don't like? Because why not just do more of that? Right? Because it's obviously working for him. That's called bridges. If what you're doing right now is currently working, why not just double down on that? And then we'll get him to tell us the reason he's even on this call instead of just doing more of that or doing more Angie's. But we need to figure out what he doesn't like about those. Why not just do more?
Referrals?
Correct.
Gotcha. So that'd be roughly like 80% of your business then?
Mhm.
Gotcha. How many jobs is that turned into per month, would you say?
So and just be specific with it. So how many jobs did you guys do last month? Let's say, right? And just act like I know what I'm gonna say, but I'm still saying. So how many jobs did you guys do? Like, let's say like last month, instead of just saying, so how many jobs do you guys do in a month, right? Because I asked a realtor the other day, hey, so how many deals are you doing on average? I made the mistake of asking on average. They're saying, oh, I'm doing about 5 a month. Okay, gotcha. How many did you do last month? Oh, I did like 1 last month. What about the month before that? 2. Okay, so I mean, is it really 5 a month, or is it more like 1 or 2? Yeah, it's more probably like 1 or 2, right? And that's a massive difference right there. So always get the more specific, the better.
I think total we're doing, I would say 2 to 3 months. So,
Yeah.
if you're doing about 25 a year, then I would estimate 6 of those or less are coming off of not word of mouth.
All right, gotcha. And so word of mouth is definitely really strong for you guys. And then also like the 2 to 3 jobs a month. Was that like an October thing? Has that been pretty consistent throughout this year?
Since I would say March. It's been
Since
pretty
March? Okay, so
So the better way to ask this is just, okay, so how many jobs have you guys done this month so far? What about last month? Instead of just asking him, hey, is that about how many you've done? Ask him specific numbers. And then what I want to dig into as well is what types of jobs is he doing? What's the job size he's doing? How much is he making from those? Because if we can figure out, oh, he makes $5,000 a job, he's making like $15,000 a month, we can kind of get a better idea of his numbers.
pretty consistently at that 2 to 3 level since March. So you've been so the business has been a little bit stagnant for around half a year.
I wouldn't say so. I mean, the first half of the year, we probably signed 20% of what we signed for the year. So it's been pretty busy the last 6 months. It's been strong.
Then right there, this is when you pull back. Awesome, man. Well, dude, that's awesome to hear that has been strong. Because like you don't want to put him in a bucket. That's one thing I would change. You don't want to say, oh, so the business has been stagnant, right? I would say, I would kind of pull back a bit more and be like, okay, I mean, has the business been slowing down a bit, or are you kind of happy with the growth? And then you'd be like, no, we're actually pretty happy with the growth. Then I'd be like, okay, man, that's awesome. That's been going well this last year. I guess then what even is the reason you are looking for other avenues instead of just kind of doing more of what you're currently doing, right? And then get him to tell you what he's looking for, or why he's not totally happy with where he's currently at, because he's on the call for a reason. And remember, in the beginning, he said he was exploring other avenues. So like, why though, right? If what you're doing is already working.
Gotcha. But then you just say like you've been pretty consistently like 2 to 3 a month. So like that's more what I mean, like the job count itself.
Sure.
And then I mean on the call, definitely looking to grow. I mean, do you have a goal in mind for how much work you'd like to be doing each month?
Yeah, I mean, and it's not a huge jump. I think if we did
So we need to get an idea of how many jobs or what types of jobs he's actually doing. Because if he says, oh, I'm doing 1 big job a month, 2 smaller jobs, but maybe he just wants 3 big jobs a month, we don't know what a big job is. We don't know what he means by that. So we need to get an idea what type of jobs he's currently doing, what he's actually looking for.
another project a month,
Well, another project a month, so just like looking to add on one more.
that would be, based on average ticket, that would be about where we want to be.
Yeah, because you just do kitchens pretty much.
Correct.
So definitely takes a bit longer,
Mhm.
a lot more work.
Yep.
So I got you. And so I guess with that, what's your average ticket size with a kitchen job?
63.
So 63. And then what are your profit margins looking like?
They vary.
Very like I know like 30% ish is the standard. Would that
Yeah, you can run it.
run 30? So what would that be? Like that'd be around 20 to 21K.
Sure.
Like that sound right to you?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So basically looking at
So this, you can see this guy is like, he's not really, he didn't like talking about the numbers and stuff. So what you can do to get a better answer from him, like you didn't get a realistic number because he's like, yeah, sure, right? So he's not actually telling you. So then I would be like, a more tactful way to ask that is, hey, how many team members do you have? Okay, gotcha. And then the way you can kind of ask it is, okay, so your average ticket size is like 60, 63. I guess, yeah, how many team members do you have? Got it. Is that what about materials and stuff? But you can kind of reverse engineer how much he's making. But also, it's like you haven't really gone deep enough to go ask that, so he feels a bit uncomfortable because it still is relatively service level. But the other way you can do it is like you can just tell him why you're asking that question. So then the reason I asked this as well, or you can be like, do you mind if I ask a little bit more of a personal question? Well, the reason I asked this just because so I know an idea of where you're at and what types of jobs that we can actually send you. So like, what's your actual like margins with the jobs, like just on average, like when you do these kitchen jobs, and that will kind of lower the blow a bit, and he'll be more likely to open up and tell you.
add on like an extra 20K in profit a year, or not a year per month.
Per month,
so with
yeah.
revenue, that'd be like 80 to 85,000 per month. So do the math. Try to do it real quick for you. That's like 960K to.
So you don't need to calculate what he's currently making. He's looking to add on an extra job. Let's say he makes 25 grand a month from it. He's looking to basically add on an extra 250, 300 grand a year. And that's what his problem's worth. Him not getting an extra job a month is costing him an extra $300,000 a year. That's how you frame it. You don't want to add up what he's totally doing now.
Almost $1 million. Is $1 million in revenue per year like a big goal for you? Or is that just kind of how the math worked out?
No, I mean, not an additional. We're going to probably finish this year at 1.3, 1.2, 1.3. 2 is a stretch goal. 1.5 is kind of like a.
And also one other thing, when he tells you, yeah, we want to do one more job a month, I would be like, oh, one more job. It sounds like you've thought of that before. Like, why one more? And then he'll go and tell you. But we want to get the reason behind it as well.
1.5 I would consider next year to be like the bottom goal. 1.8, 1.75 you could call it would be the real goal, and 2 is a stretch goal.
Gotcha. So I guess
1.8 is a real goal. So adding an extra 600,000 a year, basically. Gotcha. Okay. Well, I mean, do you feel like you're close to hitting that, or how close do you feel like you actually are to getting that? So yeah, we're kind of on track, but and then you find the problem. We need to build a bigger gap now.
Who's a stretch goal? What are you looking to do if you hit $2 million in revenue? Is there any reason you want to make that much extra money?
Well, it would just allow us to pay off debt, and that I think is still at a level where we wouldn't have to expand, and I'm not really interested in that.
Gotcha. Did you just go to a bit of debt starting the business then?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gotcha. I guess how much that is it in? Is it bad or?
Yeah. That's kind of a bit of a personal question. For sure. I don't know if I would ask that specifically. It's not super relevant, but the debt that's a good problem. Is like, hey, he's looking to do this to get out of debt, right? So that's a good piece of information we got.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we share all that information, but it's enough.
I got you. No worries. You don't have to go too deep into that if you don't want to. Mm-hmm. And then just to double check, have you worked with any other kind of lead gen agencies in the past? So like, have you literally tried anything else, any other kind of marketing?
Mm-mm. No, I knew the guy that does the Google SEO stuff for us, and that's really the only thing we've done so far.
So literally just Google SEO.
Can I ask, is there a reason you haven't done anything else? Right? Because a lot of people have tried Facebook ads and stuff. So what's the reason you haven't done anything else?
Mm-hmm. Or yeah, I mean, I say Google SEO. I don't pretend to understand how that works, but
I mean, it's mostly Google. That's what everyone uses. So yeah, makes sense. Although SEO is a changing world, especially with how people use the internet nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if a lot of people are using like social media now to search a lot.
I'll tell you right here, you don't need to go into any of this. Just keep the discovery going forward. You don't want to like talk to him, pitch to him in the discovery. Like, we just keep the conversation going.
Same thing with like ChatGPT. Like
ChatGPT,
ChatGPT is actively replacing Google for searches, and so I mean, even myself, I'll use ChatGPT honestly to search things up. Or people, if they're even looking for things like restaurants, it's like
the thing is, this guy does not care, right? It's kind of harsh, but the prospects don't care about you. The whole conversation needs to be around the prospect, putting them first, right? They don't care about you.
They'll go on TikTok to find them, or they'll be like, "Hey, ChatGPT, give me like 5 high-ranked Asian restaurants in X city."
Every question everything we say is either moving the conversation forward or pushing it back. There's no in between. This is pushing the conversation back.
Right. Just things like that. So, yeah. So if you've literally just tried SEO and Angie's,
and we need to dig into like, if what he's doing right now is working so well, he said he's happy with it. Why not just double down on that? Why not do more? We don't know why he's not happy with Angie's. He's literally getting an ROI from it. So why is he not happy with it? We need to dig into that. Otherwise, we're not gonna be able to close him.
You're about 2-3 jobs a month. Looking to add on about 1 to 2 more. to be able to hit a revenue goal of about, you're looking at 1.5 to 1.75 is like a realistic goal. 2 million would be awesome. The reason you want to increase all your revenue, pay off the debt from starting the business.
Yeah.
And then I guess you have any other goal after paying off the debt from the business, because that's like a year down the line, right?
So it's just like, and this is something a lot of people have mixed opinions on, but I forget who I heard this from, but like when you future pay so far, like a year or 2 years ahead, he probably doesn't even know what he's gonna have for dinner tonight, right? So we need to use like shorter timelines, because like we're not gonna be able to get him. You're not gonna get him in $2 million in the next like 3 months. You know what I mean? So we need to find. We can't future pace as much. We need to get a shorter term goal of just, okay, adding an extra deal, making the extra $25,000 a month. But we're not digging into his current situation enough. We're not creating a problem. We're just staying pretty surface level here.
In anywhere further than that right now, we're just kind of head down towards the goal.
That wouldn't pay all of it off, but that would get us in a good spot. I mean, I think if we replicated that over 3, 4, 5 years, yeah, we could be debt free at that point.
That's amazing, Tyler.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, I understand.
Dude, that's not amazing. He's in 4 years of debt. That's terrible. That's literally terrible. So like you're hyping him up, and like you should be expanding that problem. 4 years. Jeez, I don't want to get too personal. It sounds like a lot of debt though. And then get him to sit in that. That's how you build a gap, instead of being like, oh, dude, Tyler, man, congrats. Then he's gonna be like, oh, thanks, brother. Right? You know what I mean? Right? You got to build the gap. Sales is the bigger the gap is, the more of a problem they realize they have. Your job is to magnify that problem. And right now you just shrunk it.
My mom actually owns a business. She started a aesthetics practice.
So right here, yeah, we don't need to go into any of this. You can do this in the pitch potentially, but discovery needs to be all about the prospect.
Over COVID.
Nice.
And operations, you think, or just gonna keep that at that level?
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, so pretty much just looking to add on that extra like 1 to 2 jobs a month then. All right, perfect, Tyler.
So he's looking for, I guess he kind of said ideally kitchen job, right? He's just looking for full kitchen job. We also don't know if the jobs he's currently doing now, are they full kitchens? Are they like just cabinets, as an example? Like what types of jobs is he actually doing?
So I think if that's what you want to do, and that's what's going to take the business forward, help you pay off the debt, I can totally help you do that. That's exactly what I work with a lot of.
So now we're going into the pre-pitch, showing you're confident. But right here, this is not a proper discovery. We missed a lot of the key points. So basically, what we need to get from a discovery is, number one, what they're currently doing, which we have an idea, but we don't know. Hey, we know his average job size. We don't know the jobs he's doing. Is it full kitchens? Is it just cabinets, right? We need to know that. We don't know. We have no idea why this guy is even on the call. If Google is working, if Angie was profitable, why not do more of that? Like, what doesn't he like about that? We have no idea. So we're missing that with current state. What he tried before, I think we could ask it more specifically. Oh, so you haven't done any Facebook ads or anything? And if he really hasn't, then okay, we cover that. The next thing is the goal. So we have an idea of his goal, right? It's to pay off the debt. That was a good one. We know like what he's trying to do, add an extra job per month. Then we need to find the problem, which was he's looking to pay off his debt, which is good. And then we need to get some urgency. So I guess you paying off this debt and adding that extra job a month is this something you are looking to do like as soon as possible? Or like how soon are you looking to do this? No, I am looking to do that as soon as possible. Okay, gotcha. And then we get that urgency, why he's looking to do this now. And then the last thing would just be bridges. This is something Cole Gordon does. But if what you're doing right now is working so well, why not just do more of that? And he also did mention he's exploring some other avenues right in the beginning of the call. That's something you should write down. And we need to dig into that, because if he's looking at other avenues, we don't know what other avenues he's looking at. But if we know he's looking at doing mailers, then when we're pitching him, we can talk about how mailers are subpar and Facebook ads are all that he needs. And we're basically pre-handling all those other objections based on what he told us in the discovery. But we don't know what other options he's looking at because we didn't ask. So we're missing a couple key pieces here. And then remember not to go and pitch them, not to talk so much about yourself in discovery. Keep it focused on the prospect. You see right here, this light gray is the prospect talking. You're talking more than the prospect. The prospect should be talking 80% of the discovery call.
Modelers to do. And so right now
we're pre-pitching.
You're just mostly using word of mouth, and then 1 month done. Yeah. Do you think there's any other reason for that, or are you just like not actively working as much to pick up more work?
I don't know if it's a long enough of an area because we didn't take it over till January. So I don't know if I have enough of a timeline to really give you a great answer on what that looks like. I think if we over the next 9 months, another 6 months, 7 months are at the same spot, then I would, I don't think we'd be growing at the pace I'd want, but yeah.
Okay, let me go back.
Modelers to do. And so right now you're just mostly using word of mouth, and then SEO is kind of picking up a little bit. So with that, you've had about 2 to 3 jobs a month, but you've been stuck there for like 6 months. or since March. So what is that, 7 months then? Yeah. Do you think there's any other reason for that, or are you just like not actively working as much to pick up more work?
I mean, I don't know if it's a long enough of an area because we didn't take it over until January. So I don't know if I have enough of a timeline to really give you a great answer on what that looks like. I think if we over the next 9 months, another 6 months, 7 months are at the same spot, then I would, yeah, I don't think we'd be growing at the pace I'd want. But yeah, I don't know.
Just not going at the pace you want. What else do you mean by just like you don't know? It's like really unsure.
I'm sorry, I don't know if I understood the question.
Yeah, I don't really understand that either.
I was like saying, like how come like you're just like not quite sure, like don't really know.
Well, I don't know if I have enough time to know if we're stagnant or there's ebbs and flows in business, right? So if I look at what we've signed.
So here it looks like we're trying to get some urgency, which is good.
Per month in contract value.
But I would just make it a lot more clear. So you're looking at that extra job a month. I guess how soon are you looking to do that? Is that something you are looking to do as soon as possible, or what's the timeline on that? Just ask him simple as that.
I mean, yeah, it fluctuates. It's been fluctuating every month back and forth since I think October was our biggest month of the year, but it fluctuates every month. So
yeah, sure.
The trajectory where we're at. I mean, I can only look at when we started signing stuff in March to now. So I don't know if I have enough data to know yet if we're flat, trending up, trending down.
I got you. I mean, sounds like still trending pretty steadily, at least.
Yeah.
Definitely not going down.
Yeah.
Which is good. But still, you're just looking for that little something where you're like maybe moving like this, and then you just like need that like one up, essentially.
Yeah.
Because I think, from what I can tell, I think like a good half a year, 7 months of data is enough to know that you can't really just quite double down on the word of mouth or whatever you're doing right now and expect it to get a lot more.
Well, I would ask him that. I guess why not just double down on word of mouth and do that? I wouldn't tell him that. I would ask him, why don't you just double down on what you're doing right now? And he looks bored. He's like, dude, just get into it, right? I think you're going a little off topic here. I think you can get more just straight to the point.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He doesn't agree. You see that tone? Yeah. Like he doesn't actually agree, right? Because you just told him we need him to tell us. Whatever we tell them doesn't mean anything. Whatever the prospect tells us is gold. We need them to tell us.
Cool. So I think with all that in mind, I know for a fact I can totally help you. And then just like when I say that, I mean it. It seemed like
okay. So this does seem you don't seem super confident just because you're looking kind of back and forth. It looks like you're looking between the script. That's one thing I would change and try to take out as well, right? It's just try to make it more confident. Make sure when you say this, you need to really hit home the delivery. Hey, dude, well, based on what you've told me so far, I know I can 100% help you out. I think you're going to like what we have. And then go into it from there. And then be like, awesome, well, I can go ahead and share my screen and walk you through it if that's cool with you.
From talking to you, you're definitely good with your words. I feel like you have no problem closing estimates. You're very consistent with your work. I looked at your website, all of your kitchen work. It's actually it's a really unique style. I really enjoy it.
Thanks,
actually. Yeah. It's like a pre-modern style. I love all the granite, all the countertops. It's all sweet. And so right now I'm not working with anyone in Pennsylvania. And since you're looking to grow your business, I'll tell you I can definitely help. And so I can actually just go ahead right now and walk you through exactly what I do and how I can do that for you. Sound
okay. Good? Did you say Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in North Carolina.
North Carolina. I'm so sorry. I completely blanked.
No, you're right.
Sorry. I'm so sorry, man.
No, you're okay. I just was like,
thank you, Tyler, about that. You gotta check me at some point. So, anyways, just for some context on my.
So you just lost a lot of the frame right there, and it's like you could have been, oh, my bad, sorry, I had a call right before this guy from Pennsylvania. So sorry about that. You don't have to like apologize to him because it immediately shows that, oh, you're not like confident in yourself. You're like, oh, sorry about that. You just had a call with another guy in Pennsylvania. Sorry about North Carolina, right? Just kind of brush it off. Don't act like it's a big deal. Like you kind of made it a bigger deal than it is.
My business now, because I've kind of gotten to the weeds with you. I know it's hard to talk about your debt. Thank you for doing that. So I've just started my agency pretty recently, studying marketing for a while. I've had my time on organic social media. So like TikTok and YouTube, to be specific. I've grown a couple accounts on each to over 100,000 followers, which nothing crazy, but no small feat either. So I actually know what makes a good post because when I actually.
So I would hype yourself up. Like I didn't even know this about you, but that's awesome. I'd be like, yeah, like that's really good credibility right there. I wouldn't say, yeah, nothing crazy. I would just be like, yeah, so I've grown a couple accounts to 6 figures with followers and all that, and like that's a really good credibility if you have that.
I do Facebook advertising for contractors, and so because of this, I'm still not charging a lot at all up front while I'm just building up a client base and getting these people some results. And so first, I'll just share my screen real quick. I have a little board with kind of a process of how it would actually all work out. So
now we're going to the pitch, and I do like these simple Miro boards where you're just walking through the process, kind of showing the actual flow of it, which is good. So I like this, and I do like this is something because you are in the beginning stages is mentioning that, hey, I am newer to this, right? That's something that you can for sure do. It doesn't hurt. I think it can actually help if you just be upfront and authentic with it. So I don't mind that at all.
we're going to craft an optimal offer for your market and for what you would like to do in particular. These are all just winning examples that are running on Facebook right now by other agencies. So some people like to offer things like information. So this is like a ebook, kitchen remodel playbook, something like this. So this would be called like a lead magnet. People do like testimonials. They can get like referral quality leads online essentially with this. It's like your review page that you have up on your website. People can offer savings for a kitchen remodel, or you can offer like maybe.
So it's like, it's just too confusing. Like you gotta remember the whole point of this is to show the prospect why this matters, right? So this guy is like, so what? Right. So basically you would position it, hey, we're running these custom ads in your market. But it's just tough because we don't know what he likes or what he doesn't like about Angie's, right? He's profitable with Angie and he doesn't want to do it. So it's something either with the leads, like with the lead quality, but we don't know. So like the pitch is gonna be really hard. You're gonna kind of just be guessing and like just throwing stuff at the wall, hoping it sticks. But ideally you find out, okay, this guy doesn't like low quality leads. So basically you show them, hey, so these ads, basically the whole point of these is we're only targeting them and only speaking to someone who's actually motivated to get a remodel, right? I know you said with Angie, you were getting a lot of people just kind of looking around price shopping, which is why we actually don't mention the price anywhere in our ads. It's all focused on the quality of the work rather than just the price, right? And then you tie that back to how that helps him based on what he already told you he doesn't like about Angie. And that's how you go about this. Instead of just talking about, hey, we have this, we can do this, we can do this. It's like, he doesn't care about that. He wants jobs.
Maybe you're really good at timelines. You actually finish your project really quickly, and then you can highlight that. So it's whatever pain your market is facing a lot, we got to offer for that. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll go over this and we'll make an optimal offer for you, what you're comfortable with. Then from there, from that ad, we'll send people to a landing page.
So something small, don't ask them, hey, does that make sense? Ask them, do you have any questions? Because if you ask them, hey, does that make sense? They're always going to be like, yeah, it makes sense. But if you ask them, so what questions do you have? Then they're going to have actually questions, right? But just a small thing there.
This landing page is a huge part of what I actually do, because meta advertising is very good for quality, quantity, and at a low cost per lead. Good cost per lead for especially home remodelers. I know a lot of people who are doing this for roofers.
So he doesn't even know what cost per lead is, right? So he doesn't care about any of this, right? You need to tie it back to what's actually important to him. So the main thing is like with SEO, he's not getting a ton of leads, right? Just because SEO, you don't get as many leads. So with this, like with Meta, you want to lean into the fact we're getting consistent leads. He doesn't care about cost per lead or these metrics. Like he just wants leads, he wants jobs. Or he doesn't even want leads, he wants jobs. You know what I mean? So focus on that. Don't talk so much in the nitty-gritty details.
Within like $20 to $25, significantly better than Angie's. However, you also have to be mindful that some of the leads won't quite be as high quality as you'd like. So this landing page completely solves that issue. Where from there, we actually go ask them questions about what type of job, like just their current state of the customer. So we'll ask them if they're the homeowner, ask them what type of job they're getting done, make sure, just check again if they're actually looking for a kitchen job, since you specifically do kitchens. You can also ask about their timeline and their budget, make sure it's the type of job you actually want to take on. Okay. So we'll make sure that these people are serious and we're not getting any tire kickers. And then you also don't have to spend any time chasing people and just kind of waiting on word of mouth. Make sense?
Yeah.
All right, cool. And then from the landing page, we have an AI qualification system. So if they answer the form all correctly, so they're looking for a kitchen job, looking for a good timeline, have a good budget.
Again, like the pitch is quote unquote, like it looks good, it feels good, but we don't know if it actually resonates with him, because we don't know what he's tried before, what he's actually looking for, or what he doesn't like, what he likes about lead generation, right? We don't know any of this. So when we're pitching him this, it's like we're kind of just guessing, when we could just have him tell us what he doesn't like, what he likes, and pitch him exactly what he wants to hear.
Budget, it will qualify and be sent to a scheduling page right here, where they'll be able to actually just book an estimate directly based on whatever your availability is. Sound good?
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah, and then there.
So I don't like that the sound good makes sense. Ask them, like, do you have any questions on that? Right? It just sounds a little too scripted.
Page. Also make a video sales letter. Feel like this would be good for you. Pretty good on camera. Really confident. Again, just make
question on the calendar page.
Exactly. You said, does that make sense? He said, sure. And then you didn't actually ask him if he has any questions. If you ask him, hey, any questions on that? And then he goes and flushes out this question. That's exactly the reason you asked him that.
Because we're pretty small and not as techy as I'd like to be. Do they have to pick a date, or could they just say, is there an option there to say, like I would like an appointment, or something where we're going to reach out to them to set that appointment? Is that possible or no?
You could do that. Because also with this,
I would just, to be honest, when they ask questions like that, I'd be like, yeah, it's not our problem. We can do that easily, right? Because obviously it's better if they pick a time and a date, right? And we're just gonna set that up. Just be like, yeah, it's not a problem. We can easily do that. He's like, okay, sweet.
We can put like tags to.
So like right now you're getting too into the depth to just be like, yeah, we can do that.
Track leads on the process.
Yeah.
So if they fill out the form, they're qualified. I could put a tag on that lead that says that they're a qualified person. And then I can have an automation to send you a notification to your phone with that lead's information.
Yeah.
And so like their phone number, their address, what type of job they're looking for, their timeline. and then just get everything that they need, like everything that you need to be able to contact them and book an appointment. Or we can just have the calendar page. I like the calendar page because then you can actually, it saves you a lot of time.
And, you know, truthfully, if the calendar was always like, well, yeah, I just, you know, we don't run electronic calendar right now. I know we should, but stuff is so, we just haven't done that. But no, I mean, we could probably do it and then just reach out to them and, you know, put a different time if need be.
Sure, we can figure that out.
Yeah, you just want to make it seem like, yeah, it's not a problem. It's super simple. We can easily do that.
Problem. And then again, just a little thank you page, video sales letter, kind of just the cherry on top of the cake. And there's also another thing where if they fill out the form, however, they don't directly book, what we'll actually do, we have a nurturing campaign, mainly through text and email, because they will opt in their information. If they are qualified, we'll just send them, we'll have a short-term campaign and a long-term campaign where we'll we'll just remind each of the people that opted in their information about your business. We'll provide them a little bit of value. Maybe it's like, hey, this is like a cool little fact that you should know when getting your kitchen, like remodeling job, like getting a kitchen remodel done, et cetera. And then spend that over first like week or two. It'll be like every day, every other day, and then 2 to 8 weeks.
Like he doesn't care about this. He cares about getting jobs. How's this going to benefit him? So basically, when these leads come in case you do miss them, or I know you're always out on jobs, so we actually had this AI that does the follow up for you and is actually going to help you book appointments without you actually having to be there. All you need to do, you see that they respond to the text that our AI engages them in, and you just give them a call. But we're basically, the leads who slip through the crack, who you can't speak with right away, we had this basically AI assistant who messages them for you. So you don't have to worry about time and all that, and it helps you book them in. Does that make sense? You have questions on that? See right there, and then you're actually positioning it how it's beneficial for him. Instead of going into the details, we send out a message every other day, we talk about this, he doesn't care about that.
It'll be like every week, so we're not going to just completely spam them, bomb their phone, because that's no good. And so that's about that about covers my framework. And so the reason I really like it is because with meta ads in specific, and especially these types of strong offers and a landing page, we're going to get the best quality and quantity of leads. And then we're also going to filter out the tire kickers and price shoppers. It saves you time at the end of the day because people can actually just directly book an estimate after opting in their information, making sure that they're qualified. All of that's good. So it's just going to save a lot of time. And
so again, with the page, and I keep talking about it, but we can't just have this generic template stuff. It's fine, but ideally we know what he's already done, what he's tried before, what he doesn't like, what he likes, and we tell him exactly why this is the best solution for him. We also don't know the other avenues he's exploring. Again, I know I mentioned this before, but we can have such a stronger pitch if we have that information because we can tailor it specifically to him instead of just generic. Right? Like this is stuff he probably wants to hear, right? We're guessing, but everyone's different. Maybe he's looking for something totally different.
If you like to reach out to people, that's also good too. And so maybe a combination of this is we have the calendar page. I also send you their information. If they book an appointment, you can call.
Sorry, this isn't necessary. We just need to ask him if he has any questions, right? Like you're kind of like justifying to him now, and you're kind of on the back foot trying to sell to him. When you need to be a bit more laid back and have him come to you with the questions.
For them to confirm afterwards.
Yeah,
and just kind of like talk to them, get to know them a little bit.
Could we add a button on there that says, you know, have someone reach out to me?
Don't know about like directly on the calendar page.
Okay.
But we can make a page where we just have.
I would just be like, yeah, no worries. We can just add your phone number on there where they can go call you directly. Literally just go and say that. Just act like it's not a problem. Like you're going too much into depth on these.
Your information and contact.
Sure.
Like that. And then also this nurturing is a very good long-term play. To keep the leads that actually come to your page, they opt in their information, they are interested, we're going to keep them warm. And then the law of reciprocity, if we provide that value, they'll eventually feel like they owe us. They'll come back. It'll be another high value, just good wishing customer. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's about the entire process. Just gonna ask real quick. I know it's a bit cheesy, but on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel?
No, I like that, man.
So we need to flush out questions. Like, so I mean, I know that's a lot. So like, what questions do you have about literally any of that? You need to make them feel, because a lot of times they do have questions. You can even say something like, yeah, I know a lot of times everyone asks a couple of questions. So I guess for you, what questions do you have? And don't make them feel bad if they have questions. Because people, it's like when someone asks you, hey, have you ever heard of this movie? Like, yeah, I've heard of that, right? You know what I mean? It's because or at least most people don't want to, they're uncomfortable with confrontation, even though it's like something super simple. Just make it seem like very low barrier. So like, dude, I know there's a lot of stuff in mind, and what questions you have about literally any of that. And we're going to flush out all the questions that he has. It's too soon for this.
Man, I think that's a smooth. I thought when we talked, you'd mention YouTube, but I think Facebook would be better than that.
No, that's actually a funny thing you mentioned that. I was a little bit worried about that because I was doing some research on just the North Carolina market, and I've actually found.
So I would just keep it simple. Hey, I was doing some research on your area, and just based on everything we went through, Meta would for sure be better for your business instead of justifying yourself.
On that, Meta ads just much better cost per lead overall, and it's a much lower advertising cost. than YouTube. That's like the big players. That's their game.
Yeah.
You realistically got to spend like $50 a day to advertise like effectively, and that's hard for contractors.
Now, Josh, who do you own your own, or do you work for somebody? How does that work?
This is my own agency, so it's a completely one-man show. I'm always a phone call away. And
what's the name of your agency, man?
Winted Media, so WINTED.
Winted. Where are you out of?
I'm actually based out of Virginia. Yeah, I'll just type it down real quick for you.
Oh, you're good.
And then, yeah, so Winted Media, based out of Virginia.
Cool. And then
I was asking, yeah, is there a reason you ask?
How does this? Let's just say we're like, hey, let's go live January 1st with this. What does that look like is it a monthly bill? Is it a pay per lead? How does that work?
Okay, so first of all, before we get into that, I just wanted to tie down, just check in. Like, how do you feel on a scale?
I want to say, yeah, I want to tie down. Like, I want to get the tie down on you, right? I would just be like, yeah. So I'll go through all that in a second, I guess, just so we're on the same page. So, like, do you feel like, how do you actually feel about everything we went through? We want to make sure this guy is 100% confident in our process. Odds are he's probably not, because we didn't do a proper discovery. We didn't pitch him what he needs to hear, or we don't know what he tried before. But we need to make sure we're getting a tie down as well as we can. But don't say, hey, I want to get the tie down, right? He's like, oh, you're trying to tie ropes on me, right? That's like what you're trying to say. Just ask him. So just before I go into that, like, really, I mean, how do you feel about all this? And then, okay, do you feel confident that this can help you get that extra job a month? And then get him to tell you.
1 to 10 about the process before we get to pricing.
Yeah, 7 or 8. Yeah, it's good.
7 or 8, perfect. What do you think's what's your favorite part of the entire process?
How simple it is.
Simple.
Yeah, I mean, it seems pretty basic. I mean, I feel like I've seen that stuff on Facebook, so it's, I've seen it. I'm sure it works.
Yeah,
it's not overly like cheesy. I think it's good.
Yeah, definitely. I like the external landing page, because it definitely helps with the quality issue that some people or agencies can actually get you. So sometimes you'll get.
So again, like, you're like qualifying to him too much. You don't need to go and keep pitching him, right? Just pull back a bit. Don't just keep pitching him, right? Let him tell you what he likes about it.
These are really cheap, but they're all kind of worthless.
Yeah.
And so, but also, like, you don't have to reinvent the wheel at the same time too. So if it works.
Yeah. So we don't need to go through any of this. Again, if it's not moving the conversation forward, it's moving it back.
And then just to get a real quick idea before that, how that all works. What do you think's your closing rate off an estimate?
Because we're so heavy on word of mouth, those they close really high. Otherwise, 40%.
40%? Okay, cool. So 40%, that's very good.
Yeah.
So with that, per booked estimate, it's a flat fee of $100.
Okay.
So if you just, like, even if we're being conservative, let's say you're closing at 30%.
So I would go through these numbers first instead of saying it's 100 per estimate. Go through these numbers first to make them see, okay, even if you're closing at 30%, you make $25,000 per job. We get you 10 estimates. That's an extra 2 jobs, 3 jobs right there, right? Do that before you go into numbers. The numbers should be the last thing you go through.
I guess also I should go a bit into the ad spend, and then I also just have
you need to go through ad spend first as well, but you want to go through this before you actually go through numbers.
Small commitment fee up front. So the commitment fee is just like a small $200. $200 isn't a life-changing money for me or you. I just want you to have some skin in the game, if that makes sense. Because think of it like you're paying for a fitness coach versus just like having one for free.
I wanted to ask, a booked estimate, is that considered when somebody?
Yeah, and you're making the 200 seem like a bigger deal. Like, just be like, yeah, it's just $200 just to get some sort of commitment, right? You don't over justify it, because it's not a big deal unless you make it one. That's a small thing.
Chooses a time on the calendar.
Yeah, when someone chooses time on the calendar.
And then, do we know, like, is there a percentage of those that, like, can we guarantee all those are people and not bots?
Yeah, we can have a CAPTCHA on the form to make sure that people, like, bots can't get there.
And then is there a way to, I know this is may seem like a dumb question. Is there a way to limit, like, because if we had 10 leads a month, that's a ton for us. So, if we had more than that, like, we're not going to have the bandwidth or the personnel to manage more than that.
I got you. That's not a problem. And so with that would just be a question of the ad spend that you have or that you use per day. So for Facebook, you'll have a small daily ad spend that goes directly to Meta just to run the ads. So I would recommend.
So right there, something you could do is be like, oh, okay, man, yeah, I mean, we could for sure get you more than that if you do want to talk about that. I know you said you didn't want to build a team, but we can for sure limit it because, yeah, we can get 10 leads a month really, really easily. So we can talk about that. But yeah, we can limit it for sure.
For most people, $25 a day. But if you're honestly looking to not grow as much, we can scale that back. So typically I would use about $5 per ad creative at the start to test. So if you're looking for like a little, I
would just tell them, don't, you're making it too complicated. Just tell them, hey, I would recommend in your case to get about an extra job a month, $20 a day. And just go ahead and tell them flat, you don't need to justify all this stuff.
Boost. We could use like $15 a day, but test 3 ad creatives instead of like the typical.
Right. He doesn't care about this. He just wants to know how much does he need to spend to get his extra job a month.
Or standard 5 and 5 ad creatives with $25.
Sure.
And so yeah, there will be the ad spend, just like a small upfront fee to get everything running, make sure you have some skin in the game. and then 100 per booked estimate.
Okay.
So let's say we have 10 estimates over the span of.
So we need to ask them like how does this sound? Like you need to be going through this. You're trying to justify. I get what you're doing. So let's say we have 10 estimates. You close 30%. That's an extra 3. You're making 25 grand. Add up the numbers, but do this before you get into the numbers, right? We need to ask him how he feels about the price and just be quiet. After you drop the price, don't say anything. Let him digest it and ask you questions. He's going to take the conversation where he wants it to.
Let's say we have 10 estimates over the span of some time. So we have the $200 fee.
Oh, I mean, I don't want to make you do all the math. The ROI would be there 1,000%. Yeah, I mean,
just wanted to make sure.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if we 10 a month would be a lot, even if we close 2 of them.
Yeah,
well worth the spend. I would be more like, dude, you got us 31 minutes. I can't.
Shut down the ads.
Yeah, like I can't. You know what I mean? Like I can't do anything with that. If we got 5 to 10 a month, that would be a lot. Because the thing is, like, the leads are that's one piece of the business. Building a kitchen takes forever. That's true. You know, like we don't need a lot of leads. We just need that's why I say like 1 a month. Because dude, I mean, we're in somebody's house for 8 weeks, doing their job. So it's not something this business is harder to scale quickly because there's a lot of manpower and a lot of moving parts and design. You know, so I say adding 1 a month would be a lot. So if we had 10 leads a month, if we closed 3 or 4, it's more work than we could manage on a 12-month basis. In addition to what we've got going.
Yeah, that's really fair. And so, like, sounds like you're really confident, like, really on board with everything, but just like at a smaller scale.
I wouldn't tell him that. I'd be like, so how do you feel about all that? If we can just getting you a limit at the start, get you that extra 1 a month, potentially we can scale up. But I guess how do you feel about that? Right? Make sure we're asking him and he's telling us. We're not just telling him.
Just like give your business that little 1 up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like right now the pace we've been on since June would be as much as we could manage. I'm just trying to look at what does 26 look like and can we bump that a little more? So yeah, I mean, okay.
So when you say you're looking at 26, if we were to start working, would we start working right now, or would you want to only start?
So, and this is something you should get in the discovery, right? We need to get urgency in the discovery. We need to get this beforehand, not after you drop the price.
At the new year.
I wouldn't want to start till the new year.
Oh, okay.
Because I've got to wrap up. I've got a contract through the end of the year with Angie, so I just need to pay them out, finish that. And then I want to see, I don't know. I mean, I have to decide I want to do this. And if I want to do it, yeah, I do it. And do you do a 6 month, a 12 month? What do you do?
I do. Honestly, since I'm starting out, I just do 30 days with people because I don't want to trap people for a long time. Also, I don't charge like a monthly fee. It's like literally the $200 up front and then whatever per estimate. And then after the 30 days, if you feel like, hey, this isn't working, we can just shut it off from there and then go on our separate ways.
Do you have like a contract you could send me just so I can read through it?
Yeah, I can get you a contract, send a few.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to take a look at it.
But yeah, what are you looking for specifically? Oh, I wanted to see the terms and all that. Okay, yeah, what terms? We can just go through that really quick.
I mean, I like what you had to offer. I think it'd be really good for me to look at, man. I'll tell you up front, like I'm transparent and I'll be honest. And then, I think it looks good. I'd like to read through it and make a decision.
All right, cool. And so, I mean, pretty much just like on board with everything. Is there anything else you have questions about? Anything that's making you doubt at all?
No, I would just want to read through the contract.
Yeah. So again, we just didn't get. This is a case of number one. We didn't create a big enough gap with where he's currently at. Right. He feels like he's on track to get his goal, and he doesn't feel that urgency, and that's going to be something in discovery that we can pre-handle all this because you're on the back foot now. He just doesn't have urgency. He doesn't realize he has a problem because we kind of downplayed it. You know what I mean? So now he doesn't have the urgency. Yeah, just send it over. Let me just read through it. There's not really much you can do here.
All right, that's fair. All right, totally. Where can I send that to then?
Same email you sent us to, Tyler.
And we just want to ask, what do you want to see specifically? Even though, like, when you send this over, odds are you hear back from this guy really, really slim. But it just comes down to just the discovery. We need to have a more in-depth discovery, build more of a gap.
So
yeah, that's great.
All right, cool. And then after you read that, would you just want to make another time for us to talk, and then
what you can do as well? So I mean, be like, I get some sort of tie down, some sort of commitment. So man, I know you said you are looking to start this in 2026. I mean, gonna ask, like, just stay organized on my end. Like, I mean, if you feel the exact same way you do right now, in like a month or so when you're ready to get going, is it something you 100% want to do if everything in the agreement looks good? Get him to tell you, yeah, I 100% want to do it. Or no, yeah, no, I might do. I'm still considering. Okay, what are you considering? And then you find the real objection. But again, you're kind of on the back foot after you drop the price and you haven't flushed out all his objections.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's circle back up. You send that to me, I'll read it, and then if you want to follow me toward the end of the week or early next week, let's chat again.
All right, perfect. We can work that out.
All right. Appreciate your time today, Josh.
Right.
So always book a call from a call as well. If they say, yeah, we'll just follow up, touch base in a week. Okay, let's get something on the calendar. Always book a meeting from a meeting. It's Hermosi, what he says. Bam, fam, book a meeting from a meeting. This is where I get a decent number of my closes. Is I literally just go following up with them the next day, and then we just close them there. But always get it on the calendar. Otherwise, this guy's gonna totally forget, right? But this might be a smoke screen as well, most likely, because we didn't do a proper discovery. We didn't go deep enough. But that's basically the call right there. again, discovery, we need to go deeper. We need to build a bigger gap from where he is and not downplay his problem. We need to expand his problem. And then we need to have a better idea of what he's actually currently doing and what he likes about it, what he doesn't like about it, because in our pitch, it was just a bit generic. So when we have all this information, we can tailor the pitch specifically to him and his situation. And then at the end, we can just do a better job of making sure we're flushing out questions, getting that tie down, and making sure that the discovery honestly will pre-handle a lot of that, getting that urgency from him. Because in this case, if he says, yeah, I'm looking to do this in 2026, be like, all right, man, no worries. Well, I'll tell you what, how about we just touch base in a couple of weeks when it's closer to that time? Right, that's what I do. If they're not looking to do it now, I don't want to waste my time on a call with them. But you would figure that out in the discovery, not after you drop the price. But that's basically the call review right there. Do you have any questions? So that's basically this sales call review right there. Again, this was Josh. This was one of his first calls as well. So that's the entire call review right there. I hope you guys got value from this. If you have questions about SMMA sales in general, DM me on Instagram at noah.help. Josh is also in my inner circle, so that's if you want me to review your calls, feel free to DM me about that as well. I might be doing more of these. If you like them, just comment below so I know if you guys even like these, if this was helpful at all, something new that I'm trying. But again, if you have questions, literally any of this, SMMA, sales, anything, just DM me on Instagram at noah.help, and I'm happy to always help you guys out and connect with you. Other than that, thank you for watching. Go check out the video on the screen, and I will see you there.